We're bringing the caller 678. Welcome to Under the Mat Radio with Tech and NSC Gameboy.
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Oh, so this is a radio show?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Under the Mat Radio.
Awesome.
Yes, this is wrestling. Did you want to talk about anything specific?
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about opinions on Wade Barret leaving.
Oh, okay. Well, can we get your name, caller?
Oh, Peyton.
Hey, Peyton, how you doing, man? Go ahead, NSC Gameboy.
Well, when I first heard the story broke, I really wasn't that surprised. A lot of the talent has been complaining to the higher-ups that they don't like their characters, the stories are very dull. I know he was getting a lot of steam with the Bad News Barrett angle, but, there's life outside of WWE, especially with all these other promotions coming up. A lot of them getting into acting and everything, going to Hollywood and stuff. So I'm not too surprised. I'm not going to say I really would miss him if he leaves, if he do decide to leave. But it is kind of awkward that, he's addressed, the media and letting everybody know that he's not going to be signing. But, it happens a lot, So I'd be curious to see what his future endeavors may be outside WWE. Tech?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Barrett, but the thing is he's never been able to find a right place because every time they want to give him a big push, he gets injured.
Yeah,
he gets injured so often. Like he was supposed to I believe he was supposed to, they were actually going to have him win the Money in the Bank a couple of years back, and he got injured, right before it. So,
that is true.
That got scrapped, and then, when he came back, it just didn't, he never was able to really get steam again, and the thing is, he's a great brawler and great on the mic, but just can't get that balance where it's all where he can get over,
right,
and not get injured.
Yeah, okay. I agree. Well, Peyton, I'll say I'm actually happy for Wade Barrett. I've always been a fan of Barrett,
yeah.
And I actually didn't really start liking him until he left the Nexus, and of course when he started using the ball hammer. But like I say, he'll be fine. He'll leave WWE. He has, he's a strong. Yeah, he has a strong following in Europe. He can tour Europe. He can tour Japan. He can do shots all over the Indies with Ring of Honor, maybe even Global Force. Maybe do a couple of TNA appearances. Hopefully not. But definitely it looks up.
I wouldn't be surprised actually if he broke into UFC or mixed boxing because he has a past as a bare knuckle boxer. So I mean he knows how to fight, and there have been reports that somebody's leaving for MMA soon. But I mean at the end of the day, I mean it's not like he had a terrible WWE career. I mean he still has 5 Intercontinental Championship reigns, a couple of main events, and King of the Ring, so I mean he has a pretty good name under his belt, so it's not like he's going to be going out there and having to work for small time appearances. He'll be able to find work easy. I mean he has a name to him, so he's going to be kind of when guys like Del Rio or so leave. They're not the company's top stars, but they have a good list of achievements they can post on.
Yeah, that's true, Peyton. We can ask you, Peyton, how old are you?
16-ish.
Oh, 16.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a pretty young fan, but I'm very I like to learn about a lot of the backstage and behind the scenes stuff. But I've been watching it. I've been watching it for a couple of years.
Oh, that's good.
2011 I started, so been about 5 years.
Well, keep watching.
Well, that's wonderful.
You like a lot of backstage stuff. We can give you a little give you a little information that you probably didn't know, is when you watch Monday Night Raw, you know how you have a wrestler that opens up a segment?
Yeah.
On Raw? Any wrestler that you see that starts a segment off on Raw gets a bonus.
Oh, I really didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know when the Authority was doing the opening segments, Triple H and Stephanie doesn't count because they're corporate. So when you're corporate within a company, you can't get a bonus because you're based on salary. But when you're a wrestler, like Roman Reigns or Ambrose or Brock or Cena or whoever else, they would get a bonus if you open up the segment of Raw. With the addition
I didn't know that.
Yeah, with the addition of the main eventing Raw, of course. So, so we give you that little tidbit. But keep watching, Peyton. Keep listening to the show. If you want to give us a call back, please do. We'll be talking about a bunch of other topics, okay?
All right, no problem.
All right,
buddy.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Everybody, that was Peyton from GA. Shout out to the adolescents. To the adolescents of the world.
Listening to Under the Mat Radio, man. The young ones, man. We love y'all, man.
Yes,
Thank y'all.
The young ones.
Stand up with us.
4 kids, the adolescents. My daughters are adolescents, so shout out to them. NSC Gameboy. Your kids are on the 4 kids level, but they'll be adolescents. No, I'm sorry, you got adolescents too.
I have Takara.
Yeah, shout out to Takara.
Yeah.
Shout out to, Princess K. Kayla. My daughter, the adolescent crew. Representing. Another adolescent, too, we got to give a shout-out to good old fan Stephen Jones Papa Jones.
Okay. Papa Jones, Papa Johns, we love all the Papas. Papa Smurf. We got
Big Papa.
Acknowledge all the
Papa
Papas.
Smurf. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Big Papa, you know what I'm saying? All the
my
Papas.
Pops and Lower Pop. But all the Pops, even, we can go all day about the Pops. Even Papa Salt. Saltine's dad. Yeah, Papa Salt in the Saltine family. Dad put us far from the tree.
The WWE has really been gaining a lot of controversy in the last few weeks. Of course, they said, the thing with Titus O'Neil and stuff. Some people are now saying that's a work and everything because he had to leave to go do a movie. And then, Triple H talking about the global cruiserweight division and everything, probably starting in the summer. And now Wade Barret, has gone on talking about, he's leaving the company. But what's up with WrestleMania, though? Even though we're excited about going and, shout out to Motor C's again, we're excited about going, but WrestleMania feels kind of empty. Like, usually there's a match, or at least one person or one match that you will be looking at and really want to be sought after and, really like, hey, I want to see this match. But, I really don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's,
you feel me?
It's tough, and I'll bring Saltine in on this.
Okay.
That it's tough because it's good in a way that we have no idea where Mania is going right now. In the good way, it is good because it's, we're actually kind of surprised. We don't know. We can't predict what's going to happen at Mania. But it's also bad, too, because we don't know what the hell to do. Everybody's hurt. People ain't coming back. People are injured. How do you really call a set up? Triple H is the champ. The Rock's going to be there. Austin's going to be there. Taker might be there. Good gosh, we hope Taker don't go against that Braun Strowman dude. I'm telling you, if he go against him, I'm telling you, that's going to be the worst Taker match ever at Mania. Yes, worse than Elegante.
Wow. I'm about to say, worse than Elegante? Wow, that's a stretch. I mean, I understand, and I guess, you hit it on the head saying that, by us kind of being in the dark, usually the IWC, they usually know what's going on, and they usually can pick apart this time last year, we had Jim Ross on our show, and we interviewed him about WrestleMania 31, and we was all talking about how dismal that was and everything, and we knew all the elements. But this year, and for the first time in a long time, we really don't know what's going on in wrestling. Like, there's a lot of what ifs. You know, some people talking about AJ Styles. A lot of people are talking about, you know, what if he come in and do something at WrestleMania moment. I've even heard a rumor, and don't quote me on this, I even heard a rumor about the New Day having a big surprise at WrestleMania. And, I mean, I don't know how big they can get with all the booty shaking and stuff, but apparently they got something on the works for, you know, WrestleMania. So it's kind of odd, you know. It's really up in the air. Fans, you know, if y'all listening, please call in, you know, and if y'all listening on the archive, please go on the group page. You know, let us know what y'all thinking. You feel me? We want to know what's on y'all mind and how do y'all viewing it. WrestleMania is a big question mark, you know, and it's not looking good, but it's not looking bad. So, you know, where do you stand, you know? Where do you stand?
Come see, come saw. Just, you know, just got to see. Fans, in French, that means okay, like in the middle. Come see, come saw. In the middle. Really don't know. With that, Barrett, like I said, Barrett will be fine, though. Like Peyton from Georgia mentioned, that he had a decent career. He had multiple IC title runs. I forgot he was king of the ring. No, and Barrett was injury prone. And I think maybe this could further Barrett's career. Maybe his body isn't accustomed to work full time. I'm working a lighter schedule, and I want to give a shout out to my good old buddies in the business, Gil Hustles and Big Joss and Razor Cabron from, let me get the name of the show, from Wade to Real Roundtable. Of course, they have a good podcast. I was on there earlier today on my break. And they said Barrett could do some stuff, could wrestle over in Europe, could wrestle in Japan, could do some work with Ring of Honor. And they actually are happy with Wade Barrett leaving, too. It's about time. He can wrestle for a couple of, you know, wrestle for a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then, you know, take off during the week.
Okay. I guess I can see that. You know, the boy can envision that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I see your vision.
And then, of course, you know, once he leaves WWE, sure we'll be able to grab him up, come here on Under the Mat Radio, and talk and say how he feel about it. Of course, bringing in now correspondent Toph. Toph, did you hear that we had a first-time caller, 16-year-old Peyton from Georgia, one of your fellows from the.
Oh, that's cool. Shout outs to him.
Yeah.
What's up, Toph?
Oh, I'm chilling. I'm watching Crouching Tiger. First time I've seen the subbed one in years. They always have the dub one.
Yeah, I watched the sub one in the movie theaters.
Yeah, read it.
Great movie.
That's the true debate. Shout out to our good old buddy, the super friend, David Hero. The true debate, sub versus dub. What do you prefer? So, it's sub to dub.
I respect both. I have no problem watching sub or dub. I have preferences depending on the anime or movie, but I know some people don't like looking at subs because they just say they don't like looking at they don't like watching while trying to read the words. It's too much for them. But yeah, you know. Me personally, I think the earlier you're introduced to it, the more open you are. I mean, I know you guys are in the same boat as me. I started watching subbed anime as early as 10 or 9. You know, so if you've been going like a long time, like, you know, say 16 plus years watching dub, or, you know, 20 plus years watching dub, then all of a sudden someone's like, oh, watch sub, you're probably more resistant to not want to give it a shot, you know, sort of. But I got no problem watching sub or dub. I can watch both.
This is when we need the Chuckster to call on in. Hopefully he can. Know he's a very busy man. We talk about subbed and dubbed all the time. Of course, old school fans like us, we grew up with subbed. We had to read. We couldn't be lazy. And it depends. Like you said, it depends on the anime or the movie. It also depends on the voice actors. Because, let's be honest here, another random round. American voice actors aren't really all that good. Some of the American voice actors in anime or movies, they're not good. They just don't have that oomph like a Japanese. Like, to me, sometimes the Japanese voice sounds, better for the occasion because, they sound more into it. Some American voice actors, with some exceptions, just really don't sound up to par. I don't know if you guys agree.
Well, I agree. I'm kind of with Toph on this one. I grew up, I watched Dragon Ball back in the late 80s and everything. Thanks to a friend of mine, his people used to bring it home. He was stationed over there in Japan. Hence the reason I even learned about Dragon Ball and stuff. And he had copies. It was bootleg, but, I was able to read it. And, over the years, sometimes I would watch movies with captions on just because I missed something or whatever, or, what I mean? And as far as dubbing, it usually depends on the type of cartoon. I usually can do both, but I can watch Dragon Ball subtitled or dubbed, because I'm used to the voice. It's the same person that been doing Goku, like, forever. I think she in her 50s now. She still does Dragon Ball Super, which is crazy. But, some voices are iconic, and you really can point them out when you really listen to them, and, you really just get a feel. One of my favorite characters in anime, his voice, is Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! I love the guy who portrays his voice. He really, the arrogance that he has, the character, and the fact that he's a genius and he's rich, but, he understands that it's a strength, but it's also his weakness. Sometimes he's over analytical. And, of course, you think of Vegeta and Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, which is voiced by the same guy. Some voices are iconic, and when you hear it, even if you hear it in other video games and shows, it stands out. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that when you listen to it at a young age, you appreciate it more when you get older. So
right. What's really funny, and then we'll go back to the other topics, is when you cut the subtitles on, the English subtitles on, and you keep the Japanese voice. So you keep the audio Japanese, but you cut the subtitles on. And it's kind of funny. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. If you cut the audio on English and make the subtitles on English, it's funny because you can see the difference of how the Japanese write the English language as opposed to how we say stuff. So sometimes in animes, you'll hear them say one thing, but when you read it on the bottom, it may say it in a different way. Thought it was kind of funny, but check that out. One of the little nuances. But anyway, I'm more of a sub dude. All depends on the anime, though. Like you said, the guy who did Aniba's voice from Ronin Warriors, the guy who did Ride of Wildfire, like you said, Piccolo, and Vegeta's voice, the person that does Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a lot of, like you say, iconic voice actors. The Chuckster knows all the names that, you just grew up to love.
Yeah?
And yes, in Japan, you had a lot of the famous male characters in anime sometimes are voiced by females.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yep. Well, yes.
I think that's why...
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Any anime listeners out there, if you don't really follow it like that, you're about to have your mind blown. Well, not just anime. Tommy Pickles was voiced by a girl. Ash Ketchum was voiced by a girl. And yes, Naruto Uzumaki was voiced by an old lady.
No,
that really...
Yeah.
Oh, poor Naruto.
Really?
Naruto never gets any love.
He fights in the jumpsuit. Orange jumpsuit. Take Naruto, put him in the Dragon Ball universe, put him in the Bastards universe. Naruto will last a good 30 seconds. He will be the Brooklyn Brawler of the universe. The Barry Horowitz, the S.D. Jones. Wait a minute, no, S.D. Jones got offense. Yeah, the Barry Horowitz or the Brooklyn Brawlers or the Rocky Kings of that. He'll be jobbing out every match. And anybody that disagree, call in 347-677-1616.
Oh, God.
Saltine, what's your thoughts real quick?
Well, I like both of them because really when you doing like in, the subtitles, it's like you can understand, you can feel the emotion, but in the other one, it's like, you learn a lot too. So both of them is a learning experience for me and stuff, because some things you don't understand, like, really, that's what they said in Japanese? Oh, cool. And reason why is one of my favorite cartoons, well, I wouldn't even could say cartoons, a live action series was Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider was the shit.
Oh, yeah.
The Japanese version is awesome. All the way.
Bug, the beetle, was he like a roach?
Yep.
Or a bug or something?
Beetle, yeah. Well, the American version, it was Mass Rider back in the days. But in Japanese, it's Kamen Rider. And the Power Rangers basically were based on Japanese. And they've been out since the 70s, late 70s, I believe. I was like, damn, really? So we all late. It's like Japanese people get so much stuff we don't get until later on, like in 2000s and stuff. They had it since the 70s and stuff. Like, their technology is so much faster, and it's amazing. And that's
breaking news, guys. Netflix has announced that, get ready for this, Pee-wee's Big Holiday. It's coming.
What?
Yeah, Pee-wee is Kevin in the movie. Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
Oh, my.
Coming soon on Netflix in HD.
Well, to add on to that, they just posted up the trailer to Daredevil Season 2, the first trailer, which looked really, really, really good. So, of course, Daredevil versus Punisher. Marvel was really winning in the last few months.
I need to watch the trailer. Will it come out in March?
I'll send you a link. Yeah, it comes out in March. Like, I think middle of March it comes out.
Okay, can't wait.
But yeah, I'm stoked on that one. And
shout out
to all the Marvel fans for Deadpool. All my Deadpool fans out there.
Great.
97% Rotten Tomatoes.
Great.
Went to see it last Thursday. I'm going to see it again with Saltine. Me and Saltine going to go check it out. You know what I'm saying? And doing a little under the mat thing. Yeah, got to. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. I got a little peek of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But
yeah. Yeah, I saw a little something, if you will. What I saw was awesome.
I want to ask y'all something. So I heard word that Ring of Honor is working on a new video game and production. Now I don't know. This is a rumor, so I don't really have too much sources on it. But I wanted to ask y'all as a roundtable. Ring of Honor video game. Now we've talked about this before. But apparently, they've been working on a new video game. Y'all thoughts about that?
As long as it's not made by Acclaim.
Acclaim, yo?
Yeah,
really?
2K Sports. I'm sorry, I'm out of business. Or 989 Studios. Am I referencing all video game companies that are out of business? Remember those days. But seriously, I hope it goes well. Like I said, as long as it ain't whoever made that TNA game, which AJ Styles clearly told us about on this show and in the interview.
Well, yeah, I hope it goes well too.
Is it gonna be a legit game or mobile?
No, I'm hearing that this is a legit game. They're trying to put it on the PlayStation 4. They didn't have any word about Xbox One, but they definitely trying to put it on PlayStation 4. From my sources, I don't know if they were trying to keep it under wraps. If you was, sorry, my source is better than yours. If it's a rumor, I'm sorry, I was wrong. But I got it from a credible source that I think that they're in works with it. And apparently, from what I've been hearing, the game is going to be a lot different than, of course, like the 2K series from WWE and stuff. It's going to be a wrestling game, but it's going to be the dynamic of it. It's going to be very, very different. I guess to try to capture that Ring of Honor feel. So I don't know what that means, but we'll find out down the road. So just to give you a little update on that.
What you think, Toby?
I don't really play wrestling video games anymore, so I won't be checking it out either way. But video games is a great way to get the product name out there. I think if any promotion would benefit the most from a video game, it would be Lucha Underground, not Ring of Honor.
Yes.
But again, if Ring of Honor produces a video game, it would really do a lot to kind of dismiss the whole we're an indie group, sort of, because only a mainstream federation or a federation of buzz can merit a video game. So, even though I don't play wrestling video games, I'm all for exposure. And that would give Ring of Honor a lot of exposure, So if that story is true, good for them.
All right. That's what's up.
Nuggets don't make the black guys too black. I'm happy. Because we don't look good in video games.
No, I guess I can
Think about
understand
it. Do black people look good in video games and fighting games or wrestling games? No.
No, not really. For what it's worth.
Yeah, but Mark Henry, Booker T, Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, Mr. Hughes, Ron Simmons. I mean, we just don't come off well.
Balrog looks okay in Street Fighter.
True. Well, it's a guy.
I mean, Piccolo's black, and he looks good every game. So.
well, Blanca. Well, can we all agree that Blanca's black too? Can we just add him to the black poll with Street Fighter? We all agree Piccolo's black in Dragon Ball, so we can just make Blanca's black in Street Fighter. What do y'all think?
Well, by me actually knowing Street Fighter's origin, I can't agree with that because he's not black. He's a little boy named, he's not a little boy, but his name is Jimmy. And he was not.
Oh, sorry, he was a 4 kid that got transformed.
Something like that. It changes up throughout the years. Capcom consistently, back in those days, they really didn't put too much effort into the story. But shout out to Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat made Capcom step up their story game. Today was Street Fighter V Day because Street Fighter V came out for the PlayStation 4, and everybody
since you guys talk about Street Fighter, shout outs to Diego sandbagging against Lupe last night. I'm a huge Lupe. First of all, I don't want to get too off topic, man. Well, I was a Lupe fan. One time I literally, legitimately almost got jumped. I'll never forget this. It was like 2008. I was at my school in Atlanta, and I was just chilling. I was on YouTube, and I was listening to Lupe, and I was like, man, Lupe's cool. But did you know a lot of black folks don't like Lupe, which is kind of weird because I'm like, he raps about real stuff. Turns out a lot of black folks don't like him because, he used to talk down about Obama. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to, whatever. Anyway, I like Lupe. He's cool. I'm glad that he likes to, do underground, doesn't want to go mainstream, stuff like that. So I heard Lupe was fighting Diego. And if you don't know who Diego is, he's basically like the Goku of the Street Fighter universe. The dude's not going to lose. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, Diego's going to, sandbag against Lupe. It's all for exposure. for publicity and stuff. Man, I checked it out doing Raw. I was laughing my ass off because Diego got a perfect on Lupe. And to those of you who don't know what a perfect is, that's basically when you beat someone without getting hit once. He got a perfect on Lupe. Then, like, the very next round, Diego just gets bodied. And I'm like, come on. If you're gonna throw a match, at least make it look believable. And now people are like, well, Street Fighter V has different mechanics, and I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. He's Diego. He's like the Yugi Moto of Street Fighter. The dude can download and adapt. You cannot convince me that Lupe beat him. I mean, I'm sure Lupe is a gamer. I'm sure he is, and I'm sure he does like Street Fighter. But you cannot convince me that match was not. It was, you know what I mean? Someone paid Diego to drop that fight. But anyway, shout-outs to them. It got him trending on Twitter. Street Fighter V was trending on Twitter. It's trending on YouTube. It's trending on Facebook, which is really the whole point anyway. That was what they were going to do anyway. So, but, yeah, man, Diego, get paid, man. Get paid.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that. I watched it earlier today because I couldn't watch it last night. I went to sleep early. Shout out to Raw, put me to sleep. But, clearly sandbagging. Diego is like, I've seen Diego at Evo a few times. He's never lost to an American. Like, not even, and the fact that Lupe, he thought it was first to 5, but it was 3 out of 5. So he was sandbagging on purpose on some of the matches, on some of the rounds, and Lupe won. Which kind of showed me that Lupe had a little bit of skill. Some people was working with him, because some of the stuff he was doing, he kept doing rising DPs with Mean Dragon Punch, and some of the stuff he was doing, somebody sat down and did a little coaching just off the sheerness of how he was fighting. But the point of it was that any exposure in the fighting game community is a big what up for me. Rather it's Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, whatever. That's my community right there. That's what I mostly love. So shout out to Lupe. I'm a big Lupe fan. Lupe got a lot of static from Obama lines. He also got a lot of static about Tupac lines. But a lot of stuff he said, I believe, I agree with. Just because you listen to Tupac doesn't mean that you're going to change the world. You got to drop down, stop drinking the alcohol and put the weed down and actually do and make a change, not just listen to the music over and over again. That was some of his lyrics. And, for him to take his time out and help the fighting game community out, I mean, it was a good contest. And it made Street Fighter look really, really good. I'm still not a PlayStation fan, but I'm a fan of the games, and I hope that Street Fighter 5 does very, very well.
I mean, it's only fair, man. I wasn't mad at Street Fighter being on PlayStation, because I'm a huge Killer Instinct fan, and they brought that back, but it was on Xbox One. And I was like, well, I don't play Xbox, but it's great to see Killer Instinct back. So, that's something that's something Microsoft fans can brag about. So now Sony fans, it's like pulling one up on each other. So Nintendo, man, you guys need to get off your ass and do some kind of exclusive Tekken game or something. Get in on this. Make money off of this, man.
Well, they got Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah,
which is looking like it's the evolution of fighting games. It's Smash. I used to be really, 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 really fucking good in Smash Bros. I've played in a couple Smash Bros. Tournaments back in the early 2000s and actually won a few of them. I try to play now. It is a whole new it's like a whole new language. And the last tournament I think I saw someone actually, I saw the Meta Knight, which is, if you don't know, Meta Knight is like a godlike character on the game. It's raping. And I saw someone use it. And, of course, he didn't know that he couldn't use it, so they scrapped the match, but they were just letting him go ahead and fool around. And I didn't know, I've heard about it, but I didn't know how great the character was. Well, goddamn. But that's looking like the future of fighting games right there, that
Yeah, Smash Brothers is the future mainly because, and a lot of fans are upset about it, the reason Smash Brothers is the future is because of the recognizable characters. It doesn't matter what your background is. Everybody knows who Mario is. Everybody knows who Link is. Everyone knows who Kirby is. So, you look at Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and all these other games, you kind of have, not everybody knows who Liu Kang is. I think a moderate amount of people know who Ryu is, but I can't confidently say everyone knows who Ryu is. But everyone knows Mario, everyone knows Pikachu. So it's the recognizable faces. Nintendo sponsors it. So, right now, Smash Brothers as a whole, it's not even like on top 15 as far as like money-making games in terms of like the amount of money you can make. If you win a tournament, it's like somewhere like number 16, number 17. But at the rate it's going, give it about 2-3 more years, it'll be top 4, top 5. It'll be right up there with, what's that online game? What's that game? It's some computer game.
Warcraft.
What's it called? Yeah, Warcraft. Yeah. Yeah. People make crazy money. I know some dude that made like $50,000 just from winning one tournament. And I was like, wow, that's like my whole college tuition right there. Like, hook me up with that. So, anyway.
That's fine. Shout out to people that don't remember the year 2008. So I just want to remind you of that year since it was very important to Toph. World Series champions, Philadelphia Phillies. Super Bowl champs, New York Giants. Beat those gay Patriots. NBA champions, Boston Celtics. Stanley Cup champions, Detroit Red Wings. Golf, Tiger Woods was still relevant. He won. After that, not anymore. Of course, we don't really watch tennis, but, of course, women, Serena and Venus won as always. NCAA football, Florida. NCAA basketball, Kansas. Kentucky Derby, Big Brown, pause. No World Cup that year. Fashion icons. Scarlett Johansson, Sarah Michelle Gellar, of course, Christina Aguilera, Charlize Theron, Eva Longoria, Rihanna, blah, blah, blah. Of course, Time Magazine's Person of the Year was Obama, Big old Baracks. And, here you go, NFC Gameboy. Best film was Slumdog Millionaire. The biggest movies according to box office movies. Top number 1 movie of that year, The Dark Knight. 2 was Iron Man. 3, Indiana Jones. That movie sucked. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. 4 was Hancock. 5 was WALL-E. 6 was Kung Fu Panda. 7 was Twilight. That never happened. 8 was Madagascar. Escape to Africa. Quantum of Solace was 9. Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who was 10. And the number 1 popular TV show in 2008 was American Idol. Oh my gosh. Ain't back when they mattered.
Let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about that a little bit, man. What the fuck happened to American Idol? This show is garbage. It's garbage, man. My mom, she loves shows like that. The Voice. What's that other show called? So You Think You Can Dance. American Idol. Man, American Idol is garbage, dude. I watched like one episode a week ago. Okay, first of all, what happened to the a cappella rules? Because, I used to watch this show back in the day, and it was mainly just like 100% pure talent, and like 90% of the people on the show have an instrument now. Like, I know Simon Cowell, he goes on Twitter all the time, and he posts hashtag WGWG. If you don't know what that means, it means white guy with guitar. Because, like, that's who wins, like, 90% of the time. It's like, damn. The judges have, like, no chemistry at all because, Simon was, like, the honest one. Randy was the chill one. And, what was the chick's name? Forgot her name.
Paula, like the emotional one.
Yeah, she was the emotional one. And then Ryan Seacrest, he would, like, play off whatever they were doing. Like, these new judges have, like, no chemistry with each other at all. They all, like, agree with each other. They say yes to one person, then they say no to someone who is just as good as the other person. This show's a joke, dude. I see why it's ending, It's just, wow. And no one even knows who wins these shows anyway. Like, what happened to the people that won? Because, like, you used to remember the name of the people that won. Yeah, the past, like, 4 to 5 winners, no one even knows who won. You can't remember, and they haven't done anything. This show's garbage. It deserves to die. I see why it's the last season. Jeez.
Randy Jackson, like, he says the word dog, like, that's all he says.
Sup, dog?
Like
Love you, dog? Sup, dog?
It's like Terrence Howard in the movie where he says man after everything. That's all he says. Just for you, Toph. We're going to let you know the American Idol winners.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Since Toph doesn't know, who the hell? Who are these people? Carrie Underwood. Okay, we know you. You won awards. Scotty McCreely. Who are you? Philip Phillips. Okay, I know who Philip Phillips. I didn't even know he won American Idol. I know his song. We know Fantasia. We know Jordan Sparks. Who the hell was David Cook? Who are you, sir? Taylor Hicks. You were like 70 and you still won. Caleb Johnson. The hell is this? He looks like he's like a part of the Wide family. Chris Allen.
The last dude I remember winning was some Elvis lookalike with he had like white hair.
Yeah, that's the dude that was 70. Taylor Hicks. What have you done?
Yeah, him. That was like 2006, 5.
I lost count. Okay, season 14. Nick Fredini. Who are you? You look like a poor man's Chris Evans. Okay, we know Candace Glover. We know you because you're black. You was a woman. That was it. You've been around with Clay Aikens. These are the winners of American Idol, people.
Who?
American knows about 5 of them. That's it. Philip Phillips had an annoying song called Home.
Well, since we're on the topic of music, can we talk about real quick with the fans? I know y'all waiting for the wrestling, so hold on for a minute. Can we talk about last night at the Grammys? Everybody is having an uproar about Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Grammys. You know, white people, majority of them are actually okay, but there are some who felt that his performance was very racist, that it was very unprofessional. It sounded like garbage. I seen a lot of tweets and comments from and not just white people. They were from other races of groups of people who felt that the performance just did not match the flow of the show. And I want to speak on it real quick, a quick roundtable discussion about your thoughts of Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Grammys last night, if you got a chance to watch it.
I saw clips. I didn't watch the Grammys. I did see clips of it. I think he was in like jail. He wore like handcuffs and chains. But Kendrick Lamar, if you know about his album, his recent album, you will get it. It's Freedom. Get over it. I mean, we didn't seen the Super Bowl halftime show with Beyonce and Bruno Mars and Coldplay, and they used that, and they basically promoted everything that they wanted to promote. They promoted the equal love with the gay rights and homosexuality, and they also promoted Black Lives Matter. So Kendrick Lamar had his choice as a musician to get his image across and get his voice across. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Jam.
Okay.
Go ahead, Toph.
I have no opinion really, but shout outs to LL Cool J, still finding work. You know, LL Cool J was like the first John Cena. People loved him, then they hated him, then they loved him again, then they hated him again, then they loved him. And also LL Cool J, shout outs to being like the first black guy that survived the horror. I could be wrong, but you didn't die in Deep Blue Sea. But I always give Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson died, but LL Cool J survived, you know, so shout outs to you. And LL, man, one last thing, man, do you ever use chapstick? Because you lip in your lips forever, dude. That's all I got, though.
And I'm sorry, Hennessy Gameboy, your thoughts?
I watched the Grammys with my girlfriends. I will say some of the performances were really good. I saw Kendrick Lamar's performance. I think that it was very groundbreaking. It spoke in volumes, especially about the equality of black people in today's society, especially of us, the police brutality and everything. And it really spoke at, you know, just the history of the race of black people, what we've been going through, the struggle that we still continue to go through. I don't think it was distasteful. I don't think that it was insulting. It was not ignorant.
Demeaning.
It was not trying to promote violence. It was pretty much to show you where we are coming from, and quite frankly, we're still here. I'm not a big Kendrick Lamarr fan. I'm more of a J. Cole fan, but I do respect Kendrick. I think that he's very talented. I still wish that he had a little more substance in his music, and I can relate to J. Cole just a little better. But I will give him kudos at his performance. I think it was very professional, it was very well done, and it really spoke for us. And one last thing I want to say, I think that the Academy did not do justice for Natalie Cole, which is another story that y'all probably have heard or read. Natalie Cole was an artist who was nominated many, many times, and she pretty much only acknowledged during the memoriam part of the session, whereas the guy Lenny from Motorhead, they did a performance for him. They did a performance for the guy from the Eagles. You know, they did a lot of performances, and you know, this is the reason why we have to have the BET Awards. This is the reason why we have to have the Image Awards, is because these award shows don't really promote and really recognize our artists like that. And it's not to say that they didn't. It's just they didn't do it to the way in the caliber that we would wanted to see. So, I mean, they did recognize her, but it wasn't to the caliber that we wanted to see. And that's why we have to continue having our own, because, you know, no one's going to do it the way that we wanted to do it. If you want something to be right, you got to do it yourself. So,
at the end of the day, whenever we make a stand for our beliefs as a culture, it causes a ruckus. Get the hell over it. There's nothing wrong with the performance. Actually, I'm sorry I got mixed up. I did watch the performance this morning. So there's nothing wrong with it. Listen to his latest album. Listen to his music. Why are you surprised? We've seen a lot more controversial things on award shows than what he did. So I'm proud for him. And let's get in Toph, to your words about LL Cool J. Yes, that's true. By the way, Liu Kang is this John Cena of Mortal Kombat, because he kept being shoved down our throats even though we wanted someone else to win their tournaments. Is Stevie Wonder. Stevie, we love you, brother. You're one of my favorite musicians of all time. I know NC Gameboy, same way. Shout out to you, my wifey, Babe Mel, she's known. Send me a picture of Stevie Wonder's wardrobe. Come on now. We know Stevie's blind. Stevie, we know you can't see. If you could see, that outfit you had on, sir, was just ridiculous. Did anybody check that out? MC Game, I'm sure you saw it. The camouflage suit with the tennis shoes and what the hell was that? And then they left him on stage. Well, not to be funny, why are you leaving Stevie Wonder on stage? He wouldn't necessarily know when it's time to leave. And he left him on stage, and he sent the little girl up to get him. Like, come on now. Why are you dressing Stevie like that? That's all, man. And MC Gameboy, your thoughts on his wardrobe? I know Saltine saw it. Saltine.
Well, I thought that he actually cut his braids off. And I heard that he was actually bald. And then when I saw him last night, I saw that he wasn't. He actually cut off the first, I guess, the front part of his hair, and the back part has his braids and stuff. And I'm like, really, Stevie? Like, you know, come on, man. You know.
Just let it go, sir.
Let it go, dog. I mean, I know you can't see it, but I know you can feel it. You know, you know, come on, man, you know. But you know, I mean, that's what he wanted to do. That's Stevie Wonder. You know, he can do that. So it is what it is. You know, we still love him.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. But Stevie, what the hell were you thinking last night? I mean, who is your publisher, your designer, whoever tell you to go out there and look like that? What the fuck were you doing? Did you cut your hair like that, brother? Or with the braids, like people look at you like, what the fuck? This is Stevie Wonder? Yeah, it's Stevie Wonder. Like, what the fuck was he thinking? I was like, oh my gosh, no, Stevie, no. Just get rid of it. It's done deal. You had all that fluffy hair back in the days and stuff. That shit is gone. It's done deal, nigga. It's a done deal. I'm sorry. It's the funeral happened.
Well, keeping it real.
It's done. Yes.
Singing
Be shiny like me. Where's that ribbon in the sky? Damn, how could he see that ribbon in the sky? Really? How could he see himself cutting his hair? That's what I want to know.
Hey, since we're on the Grammys, man, I know the Grammys were last night, but dude, I mean, come on. They just phoned Raw in. That was who sat down and said Big Show versus Braun Strowman as a main event was a good idea. I mean, I know the Grammys were there, but I mean, last night was just a perfect example of a phoned-in show. That was a go-home show
versus Big Show, just 1995.
Wow.
Is this the new generation era?
Wow. So, back to wrestling. I heard that there's a rumor that John Cena may be coming back, and he's going to be at Wrestlemania. And some people are kind of like, I want to know your thoughts about that. John Cena coming back at WrestleMania and possibly maybe even turning heel. Who could he face, or who could he wrestle in order to bring some type of, I guess, who would care? But what's your thoughts on that? John Cena coming back.
Cena can't come back he's injured, so Cena might make an appearance at Mania, but he can't wrestle. He's too injured.
Hey, I mean,
this isn't like the Rumble. What was it? 05? What Rumble was that when he made that DLC appearance?
Oh yeah, that's when he had that surgery on his neck or something, or his shoulder.
Yeah. Cena's legit hurt, and it's sad to say Cena won't be able to wrestle at Mania. And no,
I don't think that's actually sad in my book.
Well, speaking for the masses, we don't care, but
yeah,
Speaking of LL Cool J, random, does he ever wear a coat? It's like he wears a thermal. He wears like that same thermal shirt he wears at NCIS, LA. He wore it at the Grammy Awards. He always got these tight thermal shirts on. Like, do you own a T-shirt or a coat? Maybe when you get to a certain level of stardom, you don't need to wear coats. Maybe that's all.
Wow.
News just in, ever since your queen, a good old buddy, good old JR, just agreed to terms to provide boxing play-by-play that will be airing soon on CBS Sports Network. So give a shout-out to good old JR. Business has just picked up. Gosh, WWE needs JR. Gosh, that announced team is just so horrible. Another shout-out to Gil Hustles, who actually told me, and some other people did hit me up last night, to say they actually watch Raw on mute, so they don't hear the commentary.
The commentating is...
I do that all the time. It's much better. What I usually do, since Raw is garbage anyway, Raw is not must-watch TV. I'm not trying to insult fans and their preference. Raw is not must-watch TV. The only reason you watch is because you've been a wrestling fan for X amount of years, and you just watch out of habit. It's just a part of your Monday night ritual practice, just like football fans expect football on Sunday, But what I do is I'll DVR Raw, at 8 o'clock, and I'll just watch something else, or I'll do something else from 8 o'clock to like 9:15. Then around 9:20, 9:25, 9:30, I'll turn on the DVR, and I'll just watch Raw from there. I'll keep it on mute, and I'll fast forward through all the filler and the promos and pointless segments, and somehow, even though I'm an hour and 15 minutes behind, I somehow catch up to the show, because that's how much I skip, because that's how boring it is. and I usually watch it on mute, listening to Tupac, Biggie, or usually New Jack's theme song on loop for like 3 hours. It really works. I recommend you try it out. So, yeah.
Oh, I got some breaking news. Rest in peace to was it George Gaines, the guy from Police Academy films, Commodore Lassard. He put also on Punky Brewster. Apparently, he died today at 98 years old. Actually.
Oh wow.
Commodore Lassard from Police Academy films, especially the first one, the only one that's rated R, the good one. Yes, and he played on. I think he was Punky Brewster's father or uncle or something.
Yeah,
I forgot. Long time ago, but he passed away just now. I'm getting hit up. He died at 98. Cause and death is still unknown at press time, but rest in peace.
Want to give another rest in peace condolences to Nathan Barksdale, former gangster who inspired characters on HBO's The Wire, passed away today at the age of 54. Actually, I've been friends with the man's family for years, and just found out last year that they actually were related. So yes, he passed away. Nathan Barksdale at the age of 54.
Wow. Also, we gotta say rest in peace to Vanity from, of course, she passed away yesterday, having kidney problems and stuff.
What's sad about that was a lot of folks on social media didn't even know who Vanity was. That's how I know I'm getting old. Well, we're all getting old, you know what I mean?
Well, I remember her from Nasty Girl and The Last Dragon. And shout out to a random fan who told me about she was in a Tale from the Crypt episode that I completely forgot about. Like, oh, yeah, she was. Yeah. I had them on DVD, and I forgot about that.
Just said, that a lot of people like I mentioned before, me and Toe mentioned this year sucks so far. We're not even 2 months fully into the year, and there's so many celebrities that's already died. Celebrities and known people. Definitely sad. Other news, Kurt Angle. Check out interview out with Kurt Angle on Under the Mat Radio page on YouTube. Our good old buddy Kurt Angle is wrestling his first post-TNA match versus Mr. Left Knee himself, Rey Mysterio, in a promotion called UK Fights.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. UR Fight. Rey Mysterio against Kurt Angle. Also, on this card is two former guests on our show. Supporters Dan the B. Severin versus Ken Shamrock, Kenny Sham in an MMA fight. Also, you'll see Michael Bisping versus Chael Sonnen and Roy Jones Jr. to box at his show, box at the show versus a fan. March 20th at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. You can also find this and watch it on pay-per-view. So what are your thoughts of Left Knee, Rey Mysterio against Kurt Angle?
Yarn.
Yarn for Angle and Bray?
Yeah. Yarn. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you the reason why is because it's not the same person and it's not the same character. You know what I mean? If this was a couple years ago, I would be a little more excited. But I think this is one of those matches that look real good on paper, and when it actually comes to fruition, you're really gonna be sadly disappointed. Like real talk. I think this is left for the imaginations of people to wonder about. I'm just giving you my head.
I disagree. I actually think, granted the match won't be like we saw like years past at SummerSlam. Angle can still work fairly good, and Mysterio can work fairly good. I don't think the match would be as bad as we think it could be. Let's put it like this: I think it will still be a decent match. It's not going to suck like Braun Strowman against Undertaker or, Shawn Michaels against RVD. on Raw. That match sucked. Shout out to the horrible matches, but that's my opinion. I think Ray can still go. Angle still can go to a good degree. I think it's good enough. I think it's decent. I don't think it's WrestleMania quality, but I think they can go for a good, fast lane maybe main event, maybe Survivor Series-esque match. Is that really saying much nowadays that WWE Survivor Series? Wasn't there a Survivor Series last year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, it was.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, Undertaker. Yeah, tell us your thoughts of Wrestlemania Mysterio against Angle.
Cool. I mean, it's not going to be SummerSlam 2002, which is, in my opinion, the best opener of all time. But it'll be good enough.
Of all times?
Yeah, Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. SummerSlam 2002, best opener of all time. What's a better opener than that?
Hey,
Are you going to pull a Bret Owen?
Hey, Bret Owen was good, Mania 10. PND's against Johnny B. Bad.
Okay. What else you got? What are some other good openers?
Mysterio against Dean Malenko, Great American Bash 96. Buddy.
Okay, someone just told me Mysterio Guerrero, WrestleMania 21. That was a good one. Anybody remembers that?
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good
one. Gameboy? Oh, I got one. Benoit, Chris Benoit. Yes, he still exists. Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero, Vengeance. The first ever SmackDown only pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. That was opener, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with his naming good openers. Anything, Gameboy, you want to chime in?
I don't really know too many great openers.
Okay, because when it comes to SummerSlam openers, the only ones that I remember, I mean, we're getting older, obviously, but the only good openers I still remember, Kurt Angle or Mysterio, and Triple H, Mankind, SummerSlam Cage Match 97. Y'all remember that?
That was an opener?
Yeah, that was the opener.
That opened SummerSlam?
Yeah, it was the opener. It was a really great match, really underrated. Actually, that SummerSlam in particular is really underrated, really good one.
Wow, that's something I had no idea that was the opener of SummerSlam.
It was weird. I remember it because technically he was fighting Mankind, but in the match he was acting like Cactus. And then when the match was over, he danced away like he was Dude Love. But Dude Love hadn't even debuted yet. So I guess the match was trying to get the Three Faces of Foley over. And that was really Triple H's, first, what do you call it? I guess, sometimes like in wrestling when someone has their first really good, great match, that first, to me that was Triple H's. That was Triple H's breakout match to me, in my opinion. He was not a breakout star until his feud with Mick Foley. Mick Foley put him over as an upper mid-card guy, and he put him over again as the Game, Royal Rumble 2000. I think Triple H owes his whole career to Mick Foley. That's just my opinion, though.
Not a bad thing.
I mean, for SummerSlam,